Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fun and informative podcast, BJ's Connections. I am thrilled to bring you an expert today who makes things easy, effective, fun, understandable. I think he's going to be a fabulous resource for you. So, Adam, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, BJ. I really appreciate you bringing me on here, taking the time to talk with me today. Um, it's super exciting. It's super exciting to be able to share what I do and also where I am with people in your circle.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be bringing you on if I didn't think you had something powerful to share and people are definitely going to benefit. So, I'm going to ask you to share with us just a little bit about, first of all, where in the world are you and
Yeah,
how did you get there? And then I'm going to
right.
ask you how you got to what we're going to talk about today.
Sure thing. So for the last 6 months or so, I've lived on Easter Island. It's also known as Rapa Nui. It is one of the three or four major Polynesian islands. You know, you think of Hawaii and Tahiti and New Zealand as sort of the other corners of Polynesia. It's a Chilean territory, and I've been living in Chile for about 2 years. I came down to Chile to get out of the US. My kids are grown up. And then about 9 months ago, I got married to a Chilean who has been living here for a number of years. And so he agreed to stay on another little bit and so that I could experience living on this very remote, very lush, very safe island.
Nice. Well, I understand remote. That resonates with me because I live clear up here in Southeast Alaska, remote, only
Yeah.
available by float, plane, or boat. So there's something amazing about remote, isn't there?
There is absolutely. I mean, you do have to really plan things out. You know, when you go to the grocery store and you see they're out of cheese or yogurt or whatever, then you're like, well, when's the next plane? Sorry, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, when I'm already home again.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. The beauty of everything that we do these days is that so many of us are online, listening online to Zooms, listening online to, podcasts and audio and books. And so we get to connect no matter where we are in the world with others and help them. So tell us a little bit about what you do, and that'll help people know why I'm so excited to have you as my guest today.
Yeah, sure. So I am an AI strategist and advisor. So what in the heck is that, right? So everybody's been talking for the last few years about AI, artificial intelligence, and my main focus when I talk to people about AI is it's not really to go and program a bunch of stuff to kick people out of a job. It's not about generating oodles and oodles of money by automating everything. It's really to give people that the solid background they need to understand what AI is, how to use it in the context of their business or their daily life, and how to set boundaries or guardrails around it. Because one of the things that people think about AI is, if you're like me, you come from the age where you grew up watching the Terminator, you think, oh gosh, that's going to be horrible, horrible, horrible stuff. But when you think about governance, or as I like to call it, risk management around AI, if you have that mechanism as you're working with AI, then the risk, the sort of the way that AI will operate is going to be much more beneficial to you. It's going to show you that, yes, you still need to be a human within the context of AI, because ultimately, all AI does is it collates and gathers information from across the internet and serves it up to you in a way that it responds to your question. And if your creativity is not such that nothing that you how should I say this? Um, if you only let AI do the creation, then it's really just spitting out stuff that other people have done. You really need to go back into any output of AI and look at it from your own lens. So for example, I'm going through today and I have a presentation on Wednesday with a company. And I do my first draft usually in AI. I give it a whole long prompt of I want to see A, B, C, D, all the way to Z. Um, and then I go through it and I go, you know what? This looks good. This looks good. This doesn't sound like me. So I need to go back and I'll change it in the PowerPoint. I'll change it in the text. I'll change emails, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll feed it back into the AI so that the next time I generate something, it keeps that in its memory, right? And so does this save me a lot of time? Absolutely. Is it no work for me? Not at all. It's still a lot of work for me because I have to go through and basically judge, like one of the terms people use is judge. I have to judge whether or not the output is sufficient, whether it's too much, too little, does it meet the audience, does it satisfy what they need, does it satisfy what I need out of it, and is it my voice, right?
Yep, yep, yep. So basically, we are training AI to understand what we want to say
Mhm,
in our
mhm,
voice. And yet it kind
exactly.
of gathers all of the additional information that might be available and helps put it into a format. I think that's what I have found it's most helpful for
Yeah,
is
exactly.
formatting. You mentioned guardrails. Can
Mhm.
you touch on that and tell us what do you mean by guardrails?
Yeah, so you want to make sure that you're not you're not selling the farm, right? So, as an example, if you have a company or if you work for a company, let's just say it's a multi-location shop, right? And you're selling, I'm going to just pick some things out of the air here. So, say you have a chain of flower shops, okay?
Okay.
And obviously you have competition, right? So you want to make sure in the old days, you would just, yeah, here's my advertising, here's my marketing, here's all this kind of stuff. Here are the deals for the week, that kind of thing. You send it out and get it, advertised that way. And it would be up to your competitors to pay attention to those things in order to respond, in order to maybe better deals or put out different deals, be unique, right? Um, the when I say guardrails, um, I mean that you don't want to send out and put into the AI all of your quote unquote industrial secrets,
Mm,
right? You don't want to put in all the things, oh, yeah, we specialize in palm trees only, or we only specialize in violets and tulips. We want to make sure that you are holding closer to your chest your business secrets, your business numbers is a big one.
okay.
Your clientele, like you're not going to put
Definitely.
in, you're not going to, open up your free chat GPT and say, hey, here's my list of clients over the
Right.
last 2 years, because then all of that information is public on the internet, right?
Right.
And so you want to be very aware, you want to be very cognizant of what versions of these tools you use. Now, I
Okay.
I use paid versions of Claude, of ChatGPT, et cetera, and there are some safeguards there. But when I talk to companies um, who are maybe publicly traded or have very large deals going on, they need to look at which tools they use that keep that data safe. Okay. So, for example, if you are working with Microsoft products and you have Copilot embedded in there, so Copilot is like the Claude or the ChatGPT of from Microsoft.
Right.
Um, you want to make sure that you pay for the level that will keep your information secure and separate from everyone else's. It'll still be accessible to you in your company, but you want to make sure that it is sectioned off from everyone else. And most of these companies have options for that, opportunities for that paid level, that particular paid level, right? And it's not, I won't say that it's cheap, it's not. But if you are a larger business, a medium business, a large business, you could probably get deals through Microsoft as an example, or through these other companies for 20 or $30 a month per seat. So it's not horrendous. I mean, you have to pay for your infrastructure anyway.
Right.
But what you get out of that kind of investment is number one, the peace of mind that your data is not getting mixed up or, you know, sold
Right.
out to somebody else, right? That's the primary one. The other thing that's important is that you're actually saving your time, right? Because then you can leverage AI to the extent of, oh, hey, even if you save half an hour a day or half an hour a week, I mean, if you look at how much people are paid, right? And how much a month subscription to these things are, you're actually going to come out ahead because you're going to save, if you save half an hour a week and just say for the sake of argument that that's $20 of your time, you're already ahead
Right.
after less than 2 weeks, right? So it's quite a good deal from that perspective.
Smart. Very smart. All right. And what in the world got you into AI? Why
Why
this
this? Why
path?
now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I worked in high tech for about 25 years at little startups called like Amazon and Microsoft.
Yeah, little ones.
Little ones, yeah. And as I progressed through my career, you know, we get laid off and we get, you know, put into different areas of our career. I was actually looking for something that would. I had been laid off, and so I was bouncing around from contract to contract, and I was looking for something that would keep me relevant. Thank you so much. That's the word. Keep me relevant. And so this was just over a year ago, and I thought, you know what, AI's it. And up till that point, I was actually a skeptic. I was like, I'm not going to do this. This is like crazy Terminator talk. No, it's not. It's not. Once you start digging into it and you see what it can do, you see the power, you get to see the fun as well. And you really can jump in with both feet and understand, okay, I can do this. Yes, absolutely. And the thing about being, so I'm in my mid 50s. And so the thing about being later in your career is you've already built up a lot of leadership knowledge, a lot of expertise of working in a corporate environment. And you
Mhm.
can translate that into not just, oh, here's AI, let me explain it to you, but you also understand here's how people actually use it in the data in a day-to-day basis. How can it, I can take examples from past projects, past programs, past jobs, and say, oh, I could have used it in this way or that
Mm,
way or another way. Because
right.
experience is the thing that you have to invest the time in, right?
Yep.
Whether it's just you know, a few years in an accountancy or a couple decades in a tech startup or whatever the case is.
Nice. Yeah. So bringing your expertise, your years of working in corporate, your years of working with big companies, project
Mm-hmm.
management, tech,
Yeah.
all of that wrapped up makes you such a valuable asset to any business owner who wants to save some time with their projects, with their marketing, with their structure,
Mm-hmm.
and find out how
Absolutely.
AI can step into that or be used in that to save them money and time. Smart.
Absolutely. It's not just, you know, doing stuff for work, right? It's also little things like
Yeah.
I remember when I first came to Easter Island, um, oh gosh, what day was it? I think it was for Christmas. I wanted to create a little image
Oh, cute.
and I have dogs. I have a couple of dogs here. And so I told ChatGPT, create me an image with my dogs on Easter Island. So all the big, you know, the moai, the giant stone heads. I
Right.
want that, you know, you know, tropical feel. I want the dogs maybe with some kind of lei on around their necks, having a good time by the beach. And it came up with, you know, it was a very cartoony image, but it was perfect. It was perfect to say Merry Christmas to everybody at home.
How fun. Well, that brings me to my next question. What is the most fun thing you've ever done with AI? That might have been it, but I'm guessing there might even be more.
I mean, yeah, that's close to the top because that was still, you know, I had done that before um, the previous, you know, when I first started dabbling in AI, it was actually the image generation stuff that I was particularly interested in. But the cool stuff that I just love watching it is um, there's a tool called Gamma, that creates PowerPoints, slide presentations. And, every once in a while, I'm like, I need to create one. Not just so AI is only one of the things that I do. I also teach English. I also am a life and executive coach. So sometimes I'll build something for that. And it's fun to build out something like that in AI because it gives you those different kinds of ideas. Sometimes it helps you ideate and brainstorm a lot
Mhm.
easier. And then you plug it into a tool like Gamma, or Claude has a PowerPoint hook as well. And all of a sudden you see this PowerPoint that comes out with all sorts of cool bells and whistles and colors and fonts and things like that. And then you can really tweak it. And it is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun to do that, and throwing in images as well, right? Just seeing whether your concept of a certain image is what AI will generate for you.
Very cool. Now that comes down to prompts, doesn't it? I mean,
It
really
comes down to
getting
prompts.
clear, telling it
Hmm.
what you're looking
Hmm.
for. So,
You,
can you give us a little bit of an example of how do you help your AI come up with a perfect prompt that really reflects what you want to have created?
yeah. So there are a couple of things that you need to do up front. You need to tell the AI who you are. You don't usually go in and say, you know, give me an image of my dogs on an island. I mean,
Yeah.
that's fine. It'll give you something, right? But if you say, "Hey, I'm an American expat living in on Easter Island, and I want, I do X, Y, and Z on the island. Um, Give me an image of me working, right?" And maybe it will then have a picture of me with a Mai Tai and sitting in a hammock under some palm trees, right? It's a little bit more, more compelling that way. But you do need to tell it who you are. You need to tell it how you talk or how you write. And most of the LLMs, the large language models that are out there, they let you put in the kind of tone, the kind of verbiage that you typically use. Usually you'll feed in, half a dozen or a dozen articles, or just pieces of content. They could be emails, they could be stories, they could be all sorts of things. You feed that in, and it will, over time, learn how you write, such that when you go to edit it afterwards, you have to touch it less and less and less,
Mhm.
right? Um, what else? What is the goal? Like, what do you really want out of it? And this is where a lot of people treat it a lot like Google. It's like, oh, tell me the price of fish, in Santiago. Okay, fine. You can do that. You can also go to Google and find out the same kind of thing, right? But if you want to say, okay, give me a recipe for dinner. I'm having three people over. I want to have it be, it's for somebody's birthday, or it's fancy, or it's not fancy. We have this music that we want to accompany it. So give me all of the things that I need to think about, like all of the things, whether it's, ambient music, lighting, furnishings, accompanying dishes. What recipes can I use? What kind of fish should I use? What kind of, should it be fresh? Should it be frozen? Should it be, all this kind of stuff. And the more information you put into AI, the better the response will be. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people, when they're beginning AI, they think, oh gosh, that's a lot. It's a lot, but it's also a new skill. Prompt
Mhm.
engineering is a new skill that everyone has to learn. And if you think back to when you first started using email or Excel or any of these other computer related activities, we were not fast at it, right? It took a bit of time. Even when I remember when I worked at Microsoft, we would get an update to Office every couple of years, and it would take me a week to get used to, oh, they moved the button over there. Oh,
Mhm.
we need to do that. Oh, look at this cool thing that they have now. So it's
And where did
just,
that
yeah.
go?
And where
Right.
did it go? Yeah, exactly. So you need to be open-minded enough to really just sit in it and absorb. And even ask, you could even ask AI, hey, teach me how to build a prompt, right? And that's probably one of the best things. The other thing that you can do when you have a great prompt is you can still improve on it. You can ask, hey, what are the shortcomings of this prompt, right?
Yeah.
Or what it, and with an output, give me three things that I can improve on within this. So, and that's extremely valuable.
Yeah, when you can ask it questions, tell me
Mm-hmm.
what to ask you to ask me so that I can get this. And it'll be like, oh,
Exactly.
okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
have you got any advice as to which AI programs you feel are the most beneficial, maybe for certain things? Some are better than others,
Sure. I mean, like many people, I started off with ChatGPT. It was the one that everybody's known about, right?
right?
Um, there are iterations and changes to all of the models all of the time. So I'm now in my Claude era.
Okay.
So I use Claude a lot, because it can do it. It makes pretty documents. It makes pretty PowerPoints. It deals with Excel quite nicely. Um, like I said, there are others that like I haven't even touched. There are so many.
Mm,
Um, like I've tried out Gamma, but again, I want to be very cognizant around data and things like that. So I don't necessarily use Gamma unless I want just a framework, right?
mm,
Or a template, right? Um, what else is there? There image generation. There are a lot of different ones. There ChatGPT just came out with a new version of image generation. Um, some other ones, I actually will use three or four when I'm really in a deep ideating, brainstorming state. I'll prompt one AI like Claude, and I'll take the output and the prompt, and I'll put that into Grok, and then I'll take that output and the prompt, and I'll put it into DeepSeek, and then I'll take that one and I'll put it into Gemini, and then I'll take it back and I'll put it into Claude and say, okay, give me synthesize it all, put it all together, make it, and then I'll take a look at it and edit it at that point.
wow.
So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do. Um, there are I'm actually helping my husband do an English class here on the island. And one of the pieces of homework that the class needs to do is send us um, audio snippets of them. They just send a WhatsApp message,
Right.
and I listen to them and I go, okay, you need to improve here, here, and here. I was just curious. I knew it existed, but I was just curious. Okay, what can I use to analyze their English capabilities? And it was fascinating. It was fascinating to
Really?
to see how, I mean, I have an Apple device, so not everybody plays nice with Apple, but some people do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think I threw all the data into Claude, and it gave me, here's the transcription, here's where I think they need improvement. It guessed right away that they were Spanish native speakers, which
Interesting.
I thought was amazing. But it just shows you that people are putting in data all the time.
I guess so.
And and not just in English, it's also in other languages.
Oh,
So
yes.
a lot of times
Worldwide.
we'll sometimes go back and forth, and um, I'll produce something in Spanish, have my husband review it because he's a Spanish native speaker, um, and then come back and look at the English and see, okay, well, that matches or that doesn't match,
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's cool. It's super cool. It is super
That's
cool.
amazing. Okay, so what's the worst thing that you've ever seen happen with your AI
With my
journey?
AI or somebody else's AI?
Well, in the AI journey you've been
In the
involved
AI
in for
journey.
your
Yeah.
businesses.
Yeah. Um, Honestly, this is sort of tangential, but it is using AI as an excuse to fire people.
Oh,
It is, when I was in corporate, I was told always the people are our biggest asset. And I
yes,
think that's 100% true. People are your biggest
absolutely.
asset. And when you use AI as the reason to riff somebody, to lay off a bunch of people,
Mm,
you're saying a whole lot of things in that statement that are downright disrespectful, downright not true, and really, I would rather companies be very upfront about it. It's like, yeah, we overinvested here, or our board is pressuring us to reduce expenses, that kind of thing. But
yeah,
AI has been the scapegoat for a lot
interesting.
of tech layoffs over the last year and a half, um, for a lot of different reasons. And most of it has been not because they actually need the money. It's just they want to make more money, and that's sad. Um, because I think one of the things that as you start using AI, yes, you have to upskill or retrain your staff to be able to use it
Right.
effectively. And that's not just an investment in the company or in your people, but it's also an investment in your reputation as a company. Um, because people are going to leave all the time. People leave all the time. But
Mhm.
if you invest in your company, by training the people, upskilling them, giving them the opportunity to practice, um, it's going to come back to you in a lot of different ways. And people who are clamoring at the door to start working for you, for people who are buying your product, for people who are talking positively about you,
Mhm.
as opposed to the cynical state that we live in right now when people talk about AI.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, I have always said it is not your product, your program, or your service that makes you money. It's people.
No.
People are the
Mm-hmm.
ones that give you the paycheck. People are the ones that have the credit card. People are the ones that are buying. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're not
100%.
investing in people and your people skills, which through AI,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
become a little bit better. You can streamline some things that don't necessarily need your touch all the time. But
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
people are your business, whether they work with you, for you, or you sell to them.
Exactly.
100%
Exactly.
right. Yeah. So, what would you like to offer our readers today that might be a good support for them in case they have some questions? They're curious as to where their business lies and
Sure.
how they can use AI and how you might be of assistance or insight. What would you like to offer our readers
Yeah,
today?
I would love to offer everybody a free 30-minute discovery call. Let's just talk about who you are, where you're at with AI. Are you a skeptic? Are you ready to buy in? Are you being blocked by your company because they don't think it's important? Really, though, that's the biggest thing I think people can do right now. How can I help you in 30 minutes become more comfortable with the concept of AI? And if we can integrate it into how you run your company or how you operate your household or what have you, that's exactly where we need to be going.
Beautiful. All right. So how can people reach you? Can you go ahead and state your email or your website, whichever you would like, and then I will make sure that
Yeah,
that information is also in the description.
sure thing. So you can email me at adam@raferconsulting.com. That's RAFERCONSULTING.com. You can also, if you want, you can text me, preferably on WhatsApp at 1-206-295-3738.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. And
Thank you,
any
BJ.
parting words for our listeners, our
I
audience
mean,
today?
there's so much that you could say about AI and so many things that you can do with it. But really get comfortable with it. Get comfortable with it. It's not going away. And like every new technology, there's a period of adjustment.
Right.
And the sooner you start making that adjustment, the sooner you'll be more comfortable with it and you'll be able to use it as an efficiency tool.
All right. Well, we
All
have had
right.
fun exploring AI. I encourage every single one of you get a hold of Adam. Just have a conversation. Find out if there's something that you can do with AI that's comfortable for you, that really expands your business and helps you be able to spend your time in what you love to do. And maybe just put a few of those little automated things or some of the marketing things or anything that AI can do for you that you feel comfortable with. I encourage you, get a hold of Adam and figure that out. Well, thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you on our next BJ's podcast. Be sure you subscribe so that we can stay connected, and we will see you again very, very soon. Thanks again, Adam.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.